What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm tired. Y'all hadn't seen an update in this thing for a little while. I'm sorry. We've been hard at it. We've been working at it. I've been sick. I've been under the weather. I haven't been able to put in as much time as I wanted to on this thing, but we finally got it to where it's pretty close. Now, our plan was to go testing this weekend at Thunder Valley back at the track. That's in like 3 days, 4 days. Don't think that's going to happen. So dig or die is week after next. I do think we're going to be fine making it to dig or die. It's going to probably be untested unless we can catch a testing day probably next Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday somewhere. We still got a lot of work to do. Brandon and Brian and Norman have been over here helping me trying to work on this thing. And tonight we got it closer. It's getting close, guys. Let me show you what we got going on. I'm excited. I'm tired. I think this is going to be a pretty cool little hot rod. Let me show you what we got going on. If y'all want to support the channel, head on over to turbojohnracing.com. Grab yourself some hats and t-shirts. All right, guys, check it out. This is going to be fun. All right, so this is kind of similar to how you saw it last time, minus the front end. Obviously, the body panels are off. Brian has got this stuff over here. He's got a lot of stuff already primered. He's like, man, it's just easier to take the body panels off. I mean, these things are plastic. They weigh like nothing. So he's got most of it primered. Like I said, we're going to paint it back that copper color. Motor's in, oil lines are done, fuel lines are done. The only thing I'm waiting on fuel line, I've got to make the line that goes from the tank to the pump over there. So that's the only thing we got to do there. I do need to make the downpipe, of course. Wiring, oh my goodness, guys, that's what's been taking obviously the longest is the wiring. It's still a rat's nest. I do need to move this thing as well. That's hitting the window there. This motor is slid back pretty far. I got the shifter in it. Shifter is mounted. And there goes what you guys have paid the big money to see. There is the rat's nest. You guys should have saw me pulling the rat's nest of wiring. We only cut like 3 wires when we took the wiring out of the old car. And we pulled it all over here. It was a big ball of wires. Y'all saw it if y'all looked at the other videos. We got the battery mounted kind of in the same spot. Emergency cutoff is here. We'll run a cable back there to the back. We still have not gotten drive shaft safety loop, and that's going to probably be the next thing on the agenda. See, my water pump is over here. We decided to cut off the front end just because it's kind of heavy. The front end probably weighs 50 or so pounds, and it's over here. And see, they had some supports and some trees and stuff, but this thing is solid, man. It's probably at least 50 pounds. And so dig or die is one of those things. A lot of cars, I don't like not having the front end on it, not gonna lie, but the way dig or die is set up, you need so much rear bias. If we can take 50 pounds off the very front of the car up here, that means we don't have to add 50 pounds just to neutralize the weight, which to get better bias, that means we'd have to add 100 pounds in the back. So in all reality, taking 50 pounds off here is probably like taking 150 pounds out of the car. Now this thing is going to be pretty light. I don't know exactly how light it's going to be yet. We did get a base scale on it. If y'all saw the other video, the last one that we did on the car, we had it sitting on scales, but I didn't share what it was because it wasn't finished. It wasn't close. The wiring wasn't in. There's still a lot of things to do, and that's still even the case right now. The way it was sitting, though, I'll share with y'all what it was sitting with Norman standing in the middle of the car, standing on the side here. It was 2,400 pounds. And Norman's about my weight. He's about 300 pounds. So the car is 2,100 pounds. And that's what I was hoping we could get 2,300 with driver. But you figure we're going to add 100 pounds. And the bias was not good. The bias was 55% on the nose. And if you look at it where that motor is sitting there, you can see why it's 55% on the nose versus the back. There's nothing in the tail end of the car. So we did raise the front of it up a little bit too. That's going to help the crankshaft center line. You can see that thing is bad boy is high. The crankshaft center line is 15.5 inches off the ground right there. So that high instant center is going to help. Wiring worked out good, but we were just rolling it and I ripped my freaking wiring out of my drive shaft sensor. So now I've got to dig back into that rat's nest and figure out where that goes. I did just change the bars, the bar angle, which that was fun. So we got the bars all done up. We got a little bit of anti-squat in it. It's not a ton, but we did move those from where they were. And so I think that's going to be okay. Got a little bit of weight already added back here in the back because I know we're going to we're gonna need that weight. We have not hooked up dry shaft yet because tomorrow I've got to go get a gear. I was running a 370 gear, or 360 gear, I'm sorry. A 360 gear is what I was running. I want to run a 370 and see if that'll help. I mean, I could just go take my 360 out, but one of my buddies, Jimmy Boyd, has got gear, so we're going to grab that one from him. So we got our column mount here, the dash, got the steering wheel back on it. Unfortunately, I think we welded it to where it's not exactly straight. So it's going to probably have to be modified because it's going to be like that, I think, to go straight. And we know we like to go left. I mean, that's probably one of the reasons I broke the car last time. We got the throttle cable hooked up. We're going to reuse this. Seat is mounted. We don't have the seat belts in it yet. We got to put seat belts in it, got to put a seat cover on it. Otherwise, over here on this side is mostly done. All the coils, what we ended up doing with the coils is taking a wire, hose clamp, and hose clamping the bracket right down there. So that worked out good. Got our oil heater here. We do need to jack it up under the bottom of the car. We need to put the torque converter bolts in. Torque converter bolts have got to go in. We got to put a diaper on it. I do need to change the oil as well. Fuel and stuff, like I said, is done. All the hoses are done. We don't have CO2 stuff running yet. We got to figure out where we're going to mount the CO2 bottle. Once I get all this crap out of here, this is just crap from wiring. We got to figure out where we're going to mount the CO2 bottle. I like to have the CO2 bottle within reach, so I can turn the quarter turn valve on and off. So when we put this dry shaft loop in here, we may mount it to the dry shaft loop, possibly. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. So, I mean, I can reach it all the way over here. So we may double bar out up here and kind of do it like we had in my other car. All the transmission stuff's working. It's wired. Transmission cooler is on the back side of that. You can see where we bolted that in. It's under the car. You can't really see it from under here. So that's good. So that's in. We got plenty of room to add weight back here. Of course, the further you can add weight back on the car, the better. You know, the chassis, the way this car is set up, the chassis stops kind of like right here. So the chassis stops there, and then the back of the car goes out like a foot past. But I mean, I guess I could add some weight back there, but I like to have it actually strapped to the chassis, not the body, just because the body is kind of flimsy. But yeah, guys, so I mean, we're making progress. We moved along. Very happy with the progress. You know, I think we're gonna be good to go. Hopefully next time I'm over here, which will not be tomorrow, so next time I'm over here, hopefully we can get the fuel line done, crank it up, and get fire in the hole. I've thought about also this big radiator. I mean, we got this thing mounted. I did weld the bungs on it. It all fits good there. What's funny is Randy, my buddy, he sent me a message. He said, man, don't kill me. He said, that's exactly where we had the fuel tank mounted before. I forgot to give you the fuel tank. So that's pretty funny. It's all good. So it works out. But yeah, I mean, we're close. We still got to do the burn down tank somewhere. It's going to be back there in the back of the car. Don't know exactly where it's going to be yet. We got to figure out where we're going to run the lines. I mean, we're running out of real estate space over here. I guess we could go up through this part up here. We got the bungs and stuff, so that might work out. I don't know. I mean, I guess we could put great deep. We could, I mean, if we're going to run no hood, we could put the smaller burn down tanks on it. This motor, since we've had it top fuel hooped, doesn't seem to be huffing as much. So we're not getting as much crankcase pressure. That's interesting. So that's a very good thing. They're sealed up tight, or they have been. Now, you know, it's one of those things. We had a lot of stuff bent in the crash. It didn't look like we had any broken welds or anything on this turbo kit. That broke when we were at Union, I think it was. And we flex core welded that. But hopefully, you know, nothing over here is broken. It's one of those things. I mean, this turbo weighs about 70 pounds, 60 pounds. And, you know, it is supported off of the motor plate up here. But that supports the weight coming this way, not really going that way. So, you know, it's possible when we crank this thing up, we're going to have some major header leaks, or it could have, you know, broke some tubes. Don't see anything obvious. I mean, it was a big impact, though. So, y'all seen how it was. So, I mean, this 70-pound turbo become 210 pounds, you know, pulling on these pipes and pulling on these joints. So, yeah, I don't know if anything's broke on it or not. Hopefully not. but we won't know until we dive a little bit further in. But I think we're close, guys. I just don't think we're gonna be able to test this weekend. We got a lot more zippy ties to run, as I call them. Zippy ties are good. We did raise the front, like I said, just a little bit, so we're good there. Over here is the rat's nest of wiring, of course. Got some zippy tying to do. And this is all factory wiring harness from Holly. And so, you know, a lot of people make some covers and stuff to make it a little prettier, but, you know, we don't care about pretty, we care about functionality. And, you know, it just is what it is. So that's what we're going to leave it there. So I don't know, we'll see. Something I am going to have to get used to. I've always had my parachute throw down here. So this one is up high, and this one is, my old one you would push forward. So this one you actually pull back. So that's going to be a little getting used to. That's actually going to be the parachute not in the launch position, so then that is launched. So that's going to be a little getting used to for sure. It's a little far away from me too. If it seems like it gives me a little bit of problems, then I'll probably move it a little bit closer to the switch panel. Switch panel worked out great up there, so we just moved that thing up top up there. There's the same switch panel that Junior done for us over at Bissett Performance. So I think we're in good shape, guys. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Very excited. We'll see how it goes, man. It's gonna be a wild ride. It's gonna be wild. Sitting in the car, man, this long windshield. I mean, it's like you're looking through a tunnel, man. It's like you're so far back, you're so low, and you know, you can't really see. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be taking some time. The other thing I did, I forgot, don't know if I told you or not already, it has Santel shocks on it. I went ahead and took those off. Those things are pretty trick. But we put my QA1 double adjustables on it. So those are under there. Same lengths, but the adjustability is gonna be a little tough on it. So hopefully that's gonna be about where we're at. This thing is sitting kind of high in the back here. We got the bottom bar moved up as far as we can in the bottom hole there. And it's going slightly uphill from my experience in my last car. Now the bars were a little longer, but that top bar, that bottom bar needed to go uphill quite a bit. So I don't know how this is going to work. When you just look at those bars there, you can see that instant center is going to probably be about right here, and it's not going to be super high. On the back of the track, I like to make this thing try to separate. I mean, we can, you know, drop the upper bar down another couple holes if we wanted to, and it'd be like a short ladder bar, you know, and that would definitely make it separate. But it's really exciting, guys. I really appreciate all my buddies helping me, and everybody involved, everybody that's helping me. It's going to be a blast, guys. I really appreciate everybody coming in, helping, and picking up my slack since I've been sick. It's been amazing. This thing is going to be really cool. I think it's going to be a fun little car to drive. I think it's going to be a fun car, and it's going to be competitive. I think it'll be very competitive on the front side once we get it all sorted out. Backside is, I don't know. I mean, we might be first round ducks. You never can tell, though. We got some good experience out there. I got data, I got information, but this one's going to behave just a little bit different. So we're going to try it, though. It's going to be a good time. All right, guys, come see us. I'll let you know how it goes as soon as we make more progress. Maybe the next video y'all see of this, it'll be first fire up. It's going to be fun. All right, guys, comment, like, and subscribe. See y'all.